And Michelle takes to the water to show off some marine manoeuvres.
Now, long before officers can join specialised teams like the Essex Police Marine unit here, they have to undergo rigorous training and tests, which I got to see earlier. But first, we caught up with some of the force's new recruits to see just what it takes to get them out on the beat. Forces across the country are looking to recruit more police officers. And here in Essex, they want an additional 215 by March next year.
It means that we can carry out our core mission of helping people, keeping people safe and catch criminals. We can have our officers visible in every community, helping the most vulnerable and preventing crime.
Right. Yes.
But what does it take to be on the front line with the police?
We're looking for people who can think calmly under pressure, good decision-making, and then most essential of all is their communication skills, their ability to be able to speak to everyone they come across in their everyday duties.
Lucy Hamill is one of this year's intake. She's joined the police following a career in social services.
We saw a lot of horrific child abuse, and it really did make me want to do more to be able to stop it from happening.
The new recruits undergo an intensive 18-week course.
The first 10 weeks is predominantly classroom-based because we have to teach them the law before we can ask them to put it into practice. They start searching members of staff. They also get taught what's called defensive skills, which is obviously use of batons and CS spray. Policing is always a dangerous job because every time you turn up to an incident, every time you walk out in the public domain, you're potentially in danger. You can go from walking through someone's door thinking you're being called for help to being attacked in the blink of an eye.
Over the last 4 years, violent assaults on police officers have risen by a third across the UK.
I think any police officer will say that plays on your mind. Unfortunate events do happen, and there are some really nasty people out there. But I'm hoping, with the skills I get given here and the skills I have through my life, that I'm hoping that I won't face many of them.
To help protect frontline officers, Essex Police plan to increase the number of those trained to carry tasers from 300 to 700 by the end of next year.
In terms of the safety of our officers, we give them equipment, we give them training, and we do everything we can to keep them safe as they go out on patrol.
Today is an important day for recruits who are sitting their final exam.
I feel very nervous as it means a lot to me to be here.
I've done revision with 2 kids running around me, but I feel that I'm ready.
45 minutes later, the recruits have done all they can, but will it be enough?
Well, fingers crossed I've passed, but I don't know. I don't want to say anything to jinx it.
It was tough, but I'm hoping I've done enough to pass.
Two weeks on, Chris and Lucy have both passed and are officially ready to join the front line.
I feel very proud to be representing Essex Police, and I can start doing what I can to help protect the vulnerable and catch criminals.
I'm thoroughly looking forward to what the next 25, 30 years is going to hold for me.
Big congratulations to the new officers there. Now, I'm here in Burnham on Crouch, just outside the yacht harbour, and this is where the Essex Police Marine unit is based, but they actually oversee a much larger area. Joining me now is Sergeant Aaron Connolly. You're part of the team. Thanks for having me on board, Aaron, suited and booted. Firstly, just tell me what it takes to police the waters around Essex.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see from the weather that the first thing is commitment.
Yes.
Our officers spend many hours out in inclement weather conditions with our partners in the UK Border Force, so quite a big part of it is commitment and a dedication to the role.
And what kind of incidents do you get called to? Because they're quite varied, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. A variety around the coast. Some are search and rescue, so we've got a duty to perform search and rescue operations. Criminal activity, either smuggling of weapons or people. And we do major events as well, such as the Clacton Air Show.
Fantastic stuff, and I'm guessing one of the big things that you guys do as well is actually rescue people from the water if they're in trouble. You've got an exercise going on this morning that you're going to show me, so talk me through what we're going to see.
Yeah, so a critical part of what the crew will learn is around safety and search and rescue. So if we had one of our own crew or a casualty in the water, you're going to see that the crew are going to practice recovering those individuals from the water.
OK, let's see it in action then.
OK, so what you're going to see is we've got a simulated casualty, so Paul's just going to get down into the water.
Oh, it's going to be cold.
So he'll be our simulated casualty.
Yeah.
And the plan here will be that the vessel that is our rescue vessel, you will now see that they'll move in to try to rescue Paul, our casualty.
OK, I can see, so they're indicating where he is. How often do you train for something like this, Aaron?
They tend to train every month, just in these scenarios, so that when it actually happens for real, they're able to rescue a colleague or a member of the public. And what you'll see that the crew that comes in, part of the technique is to use the tide to make sure that what they're doing is not going to collide the boat with the individual's
yeah, because it's getting quite close.
So you'll see that the crew will now look to pull him alongside the boat.
It's really interesting to see actually, because as you mentioned, you know, the different weather conditions can make it all the more difficult. If it's windy, if it's rainy, you know, it's going to make it much trickier to help someone if they're in trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a completely different environment out here, and the wind isn't that strong today, and the weather isn't that bad, but actually people get caught out very often. They go out with the wrong equipment, the wrong boat, and even the wrong fuel for their vessels, and get stranded. So that's a lot of what we respond to on the coast is around rescues and assisting members of the public.
Well, you know, it's good to see that the casualty is safely on board, and I'm actually going to be back with the team a little later on when I'll be seeing one of their other fast-paced operations. Rav, join me then. Now, the Marine unit here in Essex is tasked with dealing with all different kinds of scenarios, from intercepting drug smuggling to rescuing stranded marine wildlife. So their training is essential, and one of the more highly specialised skills they need to master is moving between boats whilst on the water. Joining me again is Sergeant Aaron Connolly. I keep seeing the boats going round. What are they practising to do?
So the crew are practising some high-speed manoeuvring, and one of that skill is critical to some of the manoeuvres that you're going to see later on, whereby they're going to come alongside each other and practice the transferring of crew and equipment between the two vessels.
Okay, what kind of situations would they need to do this in real life then?
So if we had, we do a lot of joint patrolling with UK Border Force. So if we needed to come alongside one of their vessels and transfer crew across to patrol a different part of the coast, then this would be one of the vital skills that the crew would use.
Just how difficult is it to do? I mean, because they're going pretty fast.
So the crew that you've seen today, it takes hundreds of hours for them to get to what they call a commercial endorsement, which enables them to be able to helm the vessels. So they're in excess of 100 hours every year on the water just to practice to get to the level that they're at the moment.
That's seriously impressive. So can we see them in action, see how the interception might happen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So here they come now. What you're seeing is he's matching the speed of the boat that he's looking at coming alongside, and he will look to pace the same speed. Once he's matched the speed and he's happy that he's got us locked on with the speed, then he'll look to transfer the crew across.
Wow, that is brilliant. That was seamless. You all right there?
Yeah, not too bad, Ricky.
That was pretty cool. I mean, I'd like to give it a go myself, Aaron. Do you think I could do it?
Absolutely, give it a go.
Okay, let's try it then. Okay, here goes.
Keep your weight control. Okay.
Very smooth. That was all right. Not too bad. It's actually so impressive to see the skills that these guys have got. I'm very glad it's in the hands of a professional. We're going to head back to shore, Rav, so over to you.